Okay, this video is a top 5. My top 5 favourite fly halves of the modern era in rugby union. Number 5, Andy Good, simply because even though he's actually quite a big bloke, he's actually exceptionally skilled with both feet and ball. It's a pity he's recently retired. He was a damn good player. He played for many seasons in the Premiership and got capped by England. Number 4 has to be. Well, this is a difficult one actually. Number 4, difficult one. I'm going to say Toby Flood. And it's unfortunate he was playing at a time when Johnny Wilson was still playing and Charlie Hodgson was still playing because he didn't quite make it in the national side. I feel a bit sorry for him. But the thing is, on this list there are some really good fly halves. He's reached number 4. There have been many great fly halves who didn't make this list, in my eyes. Number 3, Dan Carter. The only reason I put him at number 3 is he had a fair few more injuries than Wilson, and that's why Wilson's at number 2. Apart from that, they're basically neck and neck. They are both that good. So number 2 is Johnny Wilson, simply because he won the World Cup first. Dan Carter was in that tournament, but he's that few years younger, and he is still playing. So is Toby Flood. All the others on this list have long since retired. But my favourite has actually got to be Ronan O'Gara. It's not because he's also one of only 3 players to score over 1,000 international points, along with Dan Carter and Johnny Wilson. It's just he seemed to gel better with the side around him. He didn't suffer from many long-term injuries, so he actually played more consecutive games one after the other. World Cups, he wasn't so good, but Six Nations, he's I think the record point scorer in the Six Nations. So he's beat Johnny Wilson there. I think he's also a record appearance holder in the Six Nations, so he's beat Johnny Wilson there as well. So yeah, there's my top 5 fly halves. Honourable mentions to some. Stain at fly half for South Africa in recent years. Charlie Hodgson, another honourable mention. Again, it was unfortunate that Wilson was his main competitor at the time. And he did get a decent starting role for England after their World Cup victory, but he just wasn't the same style of player, and the way England was set up at the time, it just didn't suit him. Francois Tranduc, I do actually like this guy because he is built like a brick. He's a damn good fly half. He's French fly half. Making this list is an honourable mention. Is quite good. And then you've got James Hook. Didn't make the list, but he's more of a utility back, so I don't see how he can actually be fly half material. And there's one or two others floating around. If you can think of any, please mention them in the comments. Give us your top 5. But Ronan O'Gara, Wilson, followed by Dan Carter, followed by Toby Flood, followed by Andy Good. So there's 2 foreigners in there who are not English. But no, please tell me why I'm wrong. Give your top 5. I have missed out a few other fly halves, but they're the 5 that, as a sports fan, I've watched a lot of. I've seen a lot of their games on TV. I've seen Johnny Wilson win his first piece of silverware as a Newcastle player at Twickenham against Harlequins. Against a very good Harlequins side when Newcastle were on a downer and Harlequins were on an up. So I've seen how he took control of that game. As a young player, this was well before the 2003 World Cup. He was still a very young player. Oh, there's a wasp on my window. He was a very young player at the time. And how he took control of that game and ran it in the second half. The first half, Harlequins were all over him with Burke at fly half. They were smashing him. And then Wilson, in the second half, he basically scored all the points. He scored a try and all the kicks. So there you go. He basically ran the Newcastle game for the second half single-handedly and won them the Tetley Cup trophy in 2000. So please like and subscribe. And post your comments below, and I shall have more videos for you soon.